like that one so much, let's do another. The second game of the 41st District Tournament, Night 1. The boys going into action now. Frankfort High taking on Franklin County. We're getting starting lineups now. We'll let you get the rest of the starting lineups. We'll be back with the action here in just a moment.
Number 3, Dalton Turner. Number 20, Yusufo Unakalu. And your goalkeeper, Seth Tucker. And now for your Frankfort High Panthers. That's senior number 2, Carter Gilbert. That's senior number 7, Preston Barber. That's sophomore number 9, Bryson Cox. That's senior number 10, Ashton Austin. A freshman number 15, Stephon Bebe. That's senior number 17, Colby Craycraft. That's senior number 22, Ty Hancock. That's senior number 23, Tyler Miller. Junior number 24, William Coblin. That's senior number 35, Shafor Gwandi. And your goalkeeper, that's senior number 99, Dawson Pearl. Ladies and gentlemen, the anthem was played before the first game this evening, so we'll go straight into lineups.
Call David Toll's Auto Pro for all your automotive needs.
Don't let your car keep you from making important plans. Take it to David Toll's Auto Pro, 515 Duncan Road and 1348 Versailles Road.
We depend on the internet for so much these days, but not all Kentuckians have access to reliable broadband service. That's why Kentucky Farm Bureau joined the American Connection Project, and we now provide free Wi-Fi access from the parking lots of nearly 200 KFB locations across the state. You see, Kentucky Farm Bureau does more than just insure homes and autos. We help ensure that more Kentuckians stay connected. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
Teams are on the field, and we're getting ready to kick off game 1 of the boys' side of the 41st District High School Tournament for soccer. And joining me is David Daly. I'm John Piesheimer. We've got the entire FPB crew. We've got the truck. We've got everything here. We've got multiple cameras pointed at it for you, and we're going to bring you all the action getting ready to kick off. And here in just a moment, as this crosstown rivalry is renewed in the postseason. Frankfort High coming in with a record of 15-3-2, 5-0 in the region, 3-0 in the district, one of the better teams in the 11th region this year. Also coming off of having already hung a banner for the All-A State Championship. They're taking on a Franklin County team that has had some struggles this year, but they've been fairly solid.
You know, John, they played earlier on September 6th, and 4-0. Relatively close game early in September, so anything can happen. Like we said earlier, it's the start of district play, so scores go out the window and anything can happen. So we shall see.
We'll have a Panther early corner here. Frankfort High, as we said, with a pretty impressive record. Franklin County struggling a little bit, 3-14 on the season, 1-9 in the region and winless in the district, which puts them in the number 4 slot. But like you said, when you're playing relatively close to the number 1 team in the district that early on, and everybody's had a little bit of time to figure out what's going on, as we've got an early goal. No, just off the side netting. It spoke too soon. It looked like it was good from here, but Frankfort High showing us some intent pretty early, David. A nice strike there on the right side.
Tell you what, that one looked like it had near side net, near side post all the way. But yeah,
I apologize. Let's take a look at this again. The headed clearance the headed clearance by Franklin County actually put it in just the right spot, and yeah, I can see it now. It's one of those From our angle up top, it looked like it might have been side netting, but that's why we have multiple cameras, as I mentioned earlier, and that is 1-0 Frankfort High on top.
It sure does.
Within the first minute.
Yeah. And that was a hard strike. That's kind of a little skip half volley, and he picked that thing up first timed it. Beautiful. It was a beautiful strike.
The Panthers wearing white and black. A commentator's dream because we can make out the numbers.
Frankfort High School in the dark kit with the bright blue socks really stand out. Franklin County in the white and gold.
Pretty sharp, but conversely, a commentator's nightmare.
Yes.
And we'll do the best we can with it, and we're certainly glad to be here, and we want to thank our sponsors for this tournament. We want to thank David Tolles Auto Pro and J.O. Osborne with Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Thanks a lot for helping make sports on the Frankfort Plan Board and Cable 10 possible.
That was played out of bounds. Franklin County throw in. Play back outside again.
Throw in, Flyers.
Franklin County is going to try to build from the back. Once again, it's similar to the first game. When you're in that defensive position, as defensive third, you've got to try to build out through midfield, and that's what Franklin County is going to try to do. Frankfort, on the other hand, is going to try to keep the pressure on them and keep that high pressure all the way through midfield. Keep the backs pushed up.
Yeah, like you said, David, when you're trying to play out from the back and a team's pressing you that close, that can lead to just having to work a lot quicker than you feel comfortable working. You have to make that pass a lot faster, and Frankfort High doing a good job closing down so far.
They're making a nice run. Frankfort jumped out early. Once again, what do we talk about? First 5, last 5. Within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, getting the goal that I called correctly, and then
absolutely.
Yeah, it's the crisis of confidence of being a commentator. I called it correctly the first time, and then got in my own head, man. It's the worst thing. It's the worst thing if you're an athlete and if you're a commentator.
I didn't think it slipped through that near post, but it sure did. So
last year, Frankfort High taking this tournament on enemy territory, really, and Frankfort High did not concede a goal in the entire tournament last year, blanking Western Hills in the first game 6-0, and then turning around and beating Great Crossing in the championship game by a total of 5-0. Actually, it was 5-0 against Western Hills, so 10 unanswered goals in this tournament for Frankfort High, and they look to be picking up right where they left off in 2021.
Very solid, very aggressive, nice quick, nice turns, well played balls out to space. Yeah, they're looking sharp.
Let's get a look there at number 24. That is Tyler Miller, or excuse me, William Coblin, the junior, wearing number 24 for Frankfort High. And Franklin County now trying to play a little bit, just a little bit too much space, maybe a little bit out of shape there early for Franklin County as they try to settle in this game after conceding the early goal.
And once you go up 1-0, there's a little psychological aspect of it where you say, all right, we're fine. We're just sit here and wait. We're going to play our game. We're going to look for openings, and when the openings come, we're going to take them. And I think that's kind of where they are right now. You get that initial goal out of the way, then you can kind of relax and settle into your game. Nice
Frankfort High already doing a great job of just passing and moving. Passing and moving in space, working between the lines. You can already see
overlapping runs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, give and goes. Little 1-2 action. Franklin County just now built up. You could see their players coming back, transitioning from defense to offense. You can see them moving through.
And you can see really, you know, in the midfield, you had a player who had the ball and looking around trying to find a white shirt to pass it to and unable to find one. And that's kind of what you get when you're trying to settle in the game early and try to figure out where everybody is and where they're headed to.
Exactly. You're trying to transition from that defense to the offense, and sometimes you can get yourself caught.
Yeah, and I think the key there is just find your man and play to feet. Just do the simple things first, and work out from there.
First touch, second touch. But this is a very quick game, very fast touches, speed, a lot of work in the air.
Player to watch out here for Frankfort High is Preston Barber, number 7, 10 goals and 16 assists on the season. That's getting it done.
I'll tell you what, that is a well balanced, because ultimately every one of those assists translate to goals. So it's kind of like a rebounder in basketball. That rebound means that's a basket not made by the opponent.
Franklin County trying to play the ball down the right side that time and manages to poke it away. But Frankfort High back on the ball now, and
ambitious long pass.
Yeah,
overplayed by Franklin County. Got a nice little run on it.
And that is a great save by Dawson Pearl that time. Or excuse me,
Seth Tucker.
Yeah, excuse me, I had the wrong goalkeeper up. Yeah, Seth Tucker. Dawson Pearl shouldn't mix that one up. We've seen him several years here now in the Frankfort High goal.
Yeah.
But yeah, you said it, nice thought. I mean, that's taking a goal off the board right there.
And Barber made a great run. That ball, nice little through ball. He picked up full stride. Tucker came out, positioned himself well, parried the ball away. Nicely done. That could have easily been a second goal.
Nice forcing off the ball there by Frankfort High, trying to pick up the jersey number who managed to dispossess there. Frankfort High just playing it back. That's a sign of a composed team right there. Just let's possess the ball a little bit. Let's.
And if you watch any international play, you watch any national team play, you're going to see the ball being played back. The goalkeeper is a player on the field. He is going to pass the ball. They're going to move it.
There was a time in a day where you could pass it back to the goalkeeper with your feet and he could grab it with his hands.
There you go.
That's no longer the case. And
that was back in the day when I played. Back in the old, and we used to use stones, soccer balls. That's how old I am.
I'm very good on the feet. Did you ever have a situation like that when you had somebody pass it back to the goalkeeper and put a little bit too much? Oh, Franklin County with the nice through ball that time. Might have been offside. Tough to tell now, but the result is just going to be the ball rolling into the hands of Dawson Pearl, who I have identified correctly this time.
There you go. Yes, actually, that was I did that when I was playing for EKU. We were playing against Kentucky Wesleyan, and I played the ball back to our goalkeeper and drove it right in the near post. And that was the difference in the game. We lost 2-1. So it was not one of my proud moments.
At least it was a clinical finish. Couldn't have placed it any better than that.
Nice strike.
Yeah, nice shot there, and just unable to get the dip on that he needed. But Frankfort High threatening again.
Stephen Beebe with a nice effort, nice attempt. Ball just rose on him a little bit and took off.
Coming in to take the free kick here is number 14 for Franklin County. That is a player that I don't have listed on my roster. That's Eaton Powell, excuse me. You'll have to forgive me. I printed out my rosters today and realized as soon as I got to Franklin County that I did not have any corresponding jersey numbers, so I'm kind of figuring it out as I go. That's a nice strike there and just pushing it over there. Great strike, great save that time.
We are seeing some nice play, John. It's very, very settled. The first goal was a well-played ball. Nice stop right here. It was a good save. It wasn't necessarily a stop.
A lot of action. I hate to interrupt you, David. We've got a goal there already. 2-0, and as they're crowding the front of the goal, and 2-0 your score. Frankfort High on top early, and let's take a look at the replay here.
Just right place, opportune, number 22, Ty Hancock just gets a little header on it. That's all it was needed. He was just in the right position, right place on the backside.
That is goal number 9 for Ty Hancock on the season. 2-0 your score. Frankfort High all over Franklin County to start this one off. The senior picking up a goal.
You know, we used to call those sometimes garbage goals, but the reality of it was he was in a perfect position. He knew where he needed to be. He was on back post duty. So he was sitting on back post duty for anything that bleeds through, and that's exactly what you're there for. And so, you know, sometimes people would make a reference to, that's a garbage goal. You're just picking up stuff that kind of bled through. But really, it was a very good technique goal because he was in the position to where he needed to be to take advantage of the bleed through.
Hancock picking up the foul committed on him that time over in the middle by number 33 for Franklin County. I believe that is Eric Pfeiffer, the junior, committing the foul. And now Frankfort High will have a free kick, and standing over this one is going to be Preston Barber. Instead, they play it short. Here's Hancock, takes another shot. That one caroms into a Franklin County defender.
He took that one off the back of the calf.
Flyers have a chance to break here. Just couldn't find a white shirt. But
it's hard from the defensive mode. Once you break, you got one striker up top, and unless he's available and open, you either have to carry it yourself, you have to wait for your midfield to catch up to you.
You know, you brought up garbage goals, and you were talking a little bit about international play earlier on in the night, and one of the players I think of when I think of that is a player that has torched many defense on the international level and otherwise, and that would be Chicharito, who played for Mexico, played for Manchester United for several years. And absolutely. That was his specialty. He just knew how to be in the right place in the right time, and that is a skill.
And when that happens and you're in the right place at the right time, that many times you're doing it because you're doing it the right way. You know where to be, you know how to anticipate, and that's exactly what happened on that goal. The second goal was just number 22, Ty Hancock, was just in the right spot.
We'll see if that second goal woke Franklin County up a little bit. They've had a little bit more of the ball since that hit the back of the net. Here come the Flyers. Creeping forward, that shot from distance, a little bit of, you call it a speculative effort that time. Coming in and taking the shot there was number 30, I believe, and that is Yusufo Unakalu. Unakalu. I will get the pronunciation right on that at halftime. I apologize. I knew I was going to step all over it, but, you know, fortune favors the bold.
Always played forward.
Brave header that time coming in by number 6 for
Referee
Frankfort
called
High.
Play on there. Franklin County player raised his foot up a little dangerous play. He wasn't going to call it. But like a good referee, he's going to call play on. No harm, no foul.
That was Jacob Tracy coming in to make the header for Frankfort High. And Panthers attacking again here. That shot goes in, and that is another goal, that time by Preston Barber. Just kind of took a bounce and snuck by, and 3-0 your score. Frankfort High really putting a whooping on Franklin County so far in this one. Yeah, and that's just, you know, one of those that comes in with so much power.
That's a first-time strike. Watch this ball. It's in the air. He struck it straight out of the air.
Yeah.
Never did touch.
It looked like it might have did it take a little bit of a deflection off of number 31 there for Franklin County? And I think that just sent the ball in a trajectory that.
But that is a well-played ball. I mean, just, you know, that is not easy to do. We got 3-0.
Yeah, we've seen. We're
08.
seeing Frankfort High is kind of picking up where Great Crossing left off with some impressive goals so far. Nice bit of skill to get past the defender, and that's going to be as easy a goal as you score. He made it look easy, but that is a difficult bit of skill that he was able to pull off. And 4-0, Frankfort High just all over Franklin County so far. And that is
tight angle. Stefan Beebe.
Yeah, just and he's been impressive so far with the ball at his feet, and that was a fantastic goal.
I mean, we were less than a minute from that last goal. And watch this. Watch him, he gets down on the end line, gets very, very tight, brings it in. He's within 2 feet and just curls it right around him, strikes it with the inside of his right foot.
And that brings him to 10 goals on the season. Let's take a look at this again. Beating the defender that time, that is as nice a job as you want an attacker to do in that situation, and really could have put it, he had his pick of places to put it in the goal. Finishing nicely, 4-0 your score. Frankfort High trying to put this one to bed early.
And this really is reminiscent of our earlier game in the women's division. It was 4-0, right about this same score. We talked about if they could hang tough, and
Frankfort High, now everybody wants to get on the act. That was a shot from distance from number 23. That is Tyler Miller who took that one, the senior.
If they could not give anything else up there, we could see what could happen. But
and for avid followers of soccer tournaments here on Cable 10, you may remember that on the other side of the Sauer Soccer Complex, a few years back, we had a Frankfort High player, Bailey Spade, who scored from, may as well have been midfield on a free kick. That was one of the most stunning goals I've ever seen in person. And that one actually went viral, the highlight. And that's one that will be etched into my memory for quite a while.
Pretty impressive when you get that big long strike like that. Ball played out, sent through midfield. Frankfort High School is really kind of doing a pretty good job of controlling the momentum, the flow of this game. You know, a game gets a flow, and quite often, as a coach, you're talking to your players. You're talking about you're going to have a 5-minute flow where you're on defense, and you have a 3-minute flow where you're on offense, and you've got to manage that. You've got to anticipate that.
We got a couple substitutions for Franklin County coming in. As number 20 for Franklin County, that is Yusufo. He is coming back into the game, it looks like.
Handcuffed him there on that back pass.
Got under the clearance that time.
Settled up in control. Play through the middle. Good settle. I'll tell you what, though, Frankfort right now just looks very polished. They look like a very, very polished club. Good positioning. Once again, good.
Very confident, too. See, Bebe here again nearly gets it, and that one just
nice
a great
save right there by Frankfort, or by Franklin County.
Yeah, fantastic bit of intervention there to clear that one out, as that shot had a lot of heat on it.
County, I believe it was Logan Martin, maybe got in the way of that well-struck ball from the outside of the foot. Comes into a corner kick here. Frankfort is going to take a set piece. Franklin County is going to step in to defend and try to mark tight.
We've got David Rebieto, number 12, coming in for Frankfort High. And nearly getting to that one was Carter Gilbert, the senior. Ball still alive for Frankfort High. Franklin County unable to clear it as of yet. And this time they just kind of poke it out.
Just kind of clear it out into space.
Here's Hancock. And that time clearing it away is Franklin County. That was Tulawani clearing it for Franklin County, I believe.
Just kept in play here. Yeah, I like the black kit with the bright blue socks that Frankfurt's sporting tonight. Or is that a dark blue?
It looks like a few of them have blue and a few of them have black. So, and you know the phrase fashion over function? You have fashion and function because you can see the numbers clearly and it looks nice.
The numbers do pop. Yes, they do.
And Franklin County unable to get the ball.
Nice through ball.
Out of
Good
their own
read.
side
Well
of the field
done.
right now.
That was a great pass. That was very good vision. Had his head up. Good solid defense down there by Franklin County. Flyers defense pretty solid on the outer back there.
That will roll into the Panther bench.
And Preston Barber played it out of bounds off of Franklin County.
They take the throw quickly here. Frankfort High definitely not taking their time in attacking here. They smell blood.
But They are pushing as hard as they can.
So we're just about 20 minutes in. If you're in the position, I seem to always ask you about the position of, as we've got a through ball here, I'll hold on that for just a second. I seem to always be asking you about what the coach in the position of the team that's down would do if you're. Now, and I'll ask you both ways. What does Franklin County do in these next 20 minutes, and what can you kind of affect from the sideline? Because you've got your team, and they're really against the ropes, and you've got really another 20 minutes before you can set it right. Is there anything that you can do from the sideline, like formation change? You send a substitute in with a little bit of a, to give some different instructions. What are your options here?
Yeah, maybe bunker it in, which means that you're only going to run a single striker, and he's going to be playing basically like in the midfield position. But basically, Frankfort is going to be pushing up so high, they're going to keep their back line inside the midfield side against Franklin County. So Franklin County is going to bunker in and just try to sort of stay in the pathway and just take your time, stay in the pathway, anticipate the ball, and try to move the pathway so they can intercept and just keep it out of the net. Force them to take these big, long strikes, but don't let them settle in for something easy.
Just putting as many bodies between the ball and the goal as possible.
And, you're really not going to be looking at much of a counter. You're going to try to recover a little bit, and then if and when the time warrants it, you can try to send a quick through ball, maybe catch them sleeping a little bit.
Yeah, but the first thing you got to do is stop the bleeding.
Absolutely, yes. And that means you're going to bunker it up. We used to call it umbrella, or you're going to bunker mindset, which means you just kind of hunker down and you try to create a little bitty web of defense around your keeper.
Now, if you're the team on the opposite side of the coin, I've heard it be called a few less flattering things.
Yes.
One of the most common ones being called park the bus.
Yes. Yep. You try to park the bus right in front of that net.
Franklin County puts their foot behind the ball, just trying to get the ball out of their own side of the field right now. And again, we saw it a little bit in the first game, but I think you're seeing the same thing here. It's pass and move. It's touch and know where the other person's going. As Bebe keeps that one in.
And it's good first touch, good second touch. That's going to be a corner kick accidentally, but that's going to be a corner kick for Frankfort.
Yeah, it's just kind of an all hands on deck thing right there, just trying to keep the ball out of the goal.
I'm saying, John, something else that really is impressive that you see here is that, Frankfurt's got good height. They've got some good sized players, and that will pay dividends inside the box like that with those headers and with those with those balls up in the air.
Good height and good bulk, because on those corner kicks, a lot of times you're just kind of banging against each other and you're trying to just like create space, and a lot of times you're trying to kind of hold a player off. It's not unlike basketball in a lot of ways, because a lot of times on the defensive side you're trying to either it's literally you're either man marking or zone marking.
Yes, right. Yeah, exactly.
And on the offensive side, you've got players that are trying to kind of run interference so somebody else can get a clear shot.
Yep. And on these corner kicks, I used to get my assistant side. We took the little hand pad dummies that the football team used, and we would beat the stew out of our players in there, because you're going to have that contact. Anybody says that soccer is not a contact game, just watch this game right here and you're going to see it is contact.
And sometimes it's just because you had a bad day too, right?
Yeah, well, just kind of push them a little bit, but you want them to be able to absorb that and keep their focus. And it does help. It's part of that game.
Joking.
There is but there is that contact.
Figurative.
Oh, yeah.
Put that disclaimer out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We got a substitution coming back into the game for Frankfort High is William Coblin, number 24.
But it seems like that Franklin County's tightened up. They've settled down a little bit. Now remember, this was the score. This was the final back in September, early September, when the two teams met in the first game. It was 4-0.
Just kind of getting his toe into the turf that time was the Franklin County midfielder. It was Harry Boateng that couldn't really get his foot behind that one.
Yes, just this great ball movement by Frankfurt. Just finding space, moving it. They're not a rush. You can make a negative pass, then you look for the opening. Unlucky there.
But trying a cross-field ball.
But yeah,
it covers about 40 yards.
And you're looking for space. And then if he takes that 1 touch, 2 touch, plays it back across the middle.
And a 4-goal lead buys you a lot of flexibility to kind of try some things.
Exactly. Yeah.
And on the other hand, for Franklin County, you mentioned that they've really kind of settled down now, and that's the thing that you worry about as a coach. When your team gives up like a couple of goals early, you worry that the floodgates are going to kind of open, because that's when it kind of becomes a little bit panicky. You're getting nervous. You don't want to get another one out, and it's kind of getting in your head a little bit.
Correct. But this case, didn't happen. I don't see any quit. I don't see Franklin County slowing down any. I see them playing good aggressive ball, marking solid, playing good position, and really. But Frankfurt is playing from the mindset that we're up 4-0. We're going to try and play our game and play the ball well.
Shot from distance, and that is grabbed up that time by Seth Tucker. Nice job of pulling that one in.
That was a ripper.
Yeah, when you get that much power behind a shot, a lot of times it has a tendency to carry them off the goalkeeper, and that's when it's really dangerous in terms of giving up a goal on the rebound. It was a nice job by Tucker to wrap that one up.
Heck of a save by that young man. Yes. But also a brilliant strike. Ball had pace.
That kind of looked like a little bit like the human cannonball.
It did. I'm telling you what, that thing didn't get over 18 inches off the ground and just traveled, what, 30 yards? Touch out of bounds.
And Franklin County has a throw in on the Frankfurt High side of the field. And that ends as quickly as it starts. Unfortunately, here comes Frankfurt High. They're looking to score again, and
good
that one is
defensive
played out.
Yeah, there you go.
I say unfortunately for the Franklin County fans out there, for the Panther fans, and we're glad to have all the fans of all the teams here watching on the 41st District Tournament. If you couldn't be here to watch us, we're glad you're watching on the stream with us. But
Stefan Bebe just checked back in. James Hyatt checking out.
It'll be interesting to see what this Frankfurt High team does. Should they go on to win this one and then win the championship game, it'll be interesting to see how they're able. Of course, we got a long time here left. I don't want to, this is nearly speculation, but it'll be interesting to see how competitive they are in the 11th region tournament, should they make it there.
Well, they are 5-0 in the region, so it kind of gives a little bit of indication there against those teams that they did play.
And this game's not over yet. Flyers have a tough hill to climb, but we've seen stranger things happen, and that is going to be, wow, nice bit of intervention there. Yeah, just some great last-ditch defending by Franklin County, and again, just keeping goal number 5 off the board.
That was
not out of danger yet, though.
But we've seen Bebe hit that end line like that. And how many times? And then cut that ball straight back to right back to the 6. He's done that several times. Very effective. A good job to get out of trouble.
And that's going to be a corner for Frankfurt High. A little bit of frustration on that back line for Franklin County. You saw number 23 there.
Tyler Miller and then Logan Martin and Miller were kind of tied up there.
And you said it. That's a fantastic job. And interesting. Almost looked like it could have been a potential handball there for Franklin County. I think he just kind of hit his side instead. But
that was a great position by Miller. To prevent that goal. Nice way to get up there, young man. Seth Tucker went tall.
Seth Tucker had to get tall, too, because that ball had gotten to That ball had gotten to the far post. There were a couple of Panthers that were ready to just nudge it in the goal.
A couple of flash of brilliance right there. There's a nice through ball, quick single touch, and then played forward. But Franklin was right there pressuring him. So there are some flashes. I see some flashes and some real nice touches, some real nice movement for Franklin County. So the score is 4-0 right now, but there still are some good things to see. Some play by this goalkeeper also.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the things about this sport in particular is, you know, having a couple of minutes, excuse me, that, you know, in basketball and, you know, in football and even in some respects in baseball and some of those sports we, you know, see here, you can have 3 or 4 bad plays in a row, maybe have a bad 5-10 minutes of play in basketball. You have a quarter that doesn't go your way, and you know you could get down by quite a bit, but it's not over.
Correct.
And in soccer, unfortunately, you do see that sometimes where a team just, you know, they have a couple of nervy minutes, and it can happen to any team where you just have a couple of kicks that don't really go your way. And you know, 4-0 scoreline in soccer, depending on the team that's on the top end of it, can mean the game's over. As Bebe almost managed to take that one down on the run. That was a fantastic pass.
Almost had a little a misplay by Franklin, or by Frankfurt down there. Franklin County almost took advantage of that and split.
I just can't believe that pass was right on the money.
Yes,
just dropped it right at his feet in the middle. That was incredible.
Got another corner kick coming up for Frankfurt. The purpose of this here is to mark, and you have yourself in between.
Oh, that clearance went right where it shouldn't have gone for Franklin County and Frankfurt High. Western Hills will see tomorrow.
But they did a very good job to keep them from turning on.
That was a nice job by Tucker there to get low and keep that one out, because that was on frame.
Seth Tucker had that near post guarded, near post covered up. Just a quick little strike. He was there with it.
Franklin County with the chance to do something here. Still with it, and no call there, and Frankfurt High is going to have an advantage here coming the other way. As carrying the ball now is Frankfurt High. Maybe showing a little bit too much to the defender that time was Alex Gonzalez, number 11.
Got a little bit too deep, held on to it a little bit too long. Should have pulled the trigger a little bit sooner.
I think he saw a gap that instantly closed up to carry the ball even further forward.
Yes.
And now the Flyers trying to capitalize on that. And they just need to kind of get a little bit of positive possession here for a second. But nice job by the defender there for Frankfurt High, able to get in the way. That was Coblin who got it free. And now that's a nice bit of defending. I think that's a good call.
Yes.
A good no call, excuse me. And that's going to be a goal kick
right there.
Yeah, that's a fantastic job there by number 31.
There's Logan Martin.
Logan Martin, the senior. That's just a good tackle. I mean, yeah, he gets a little bit of him, but
he had
got the ball and got in front of him. Timed it perfectly as we see some of the starters come back into the game for Frankfurt High now.
Always scares me when you get those, you get that leg extended. I always worry about hyperflexion on that knee.
And
that makes me nervous.
That's one of the things that I think is can be a misconception about, you know, people that are maybe watching soccer the first time, or, you know, don't have the highest opinion of the game, is the fact that, like, when players take contact like that, I mean, imagine if you're running at full speed and it doesn't take a lot to send you flying.
No, sir.
And it might not look like much, but it doesn't take much.
No,
in terms
it
of
doesn't.
contact.
And you know, I hate to say it, but I've seen some pretty bad injuries. My players, myself in college, took more stitches playing soccer than I ever did playing football. So.
You were a defender, correct? Most of the time.
Yes. I have a defensive mindset, and that's what you find with these strikers. You'll find these strikers, the leading scorers on any team you're at, they have an offensive mindset. They have that offensive attack. Your better defenders are always going to be a defensive-minded player, and that's just the way they are. In hockey, I played ice hockey. I was a defender. It just worked out that way.
Some of the party tricks coming out there for Frankfort High. Those Tyler Miller is shot a little back hill, and another one, a little little side of the foot flick.
But they're very polished. They are a very, very solid ball club.
Yeah, and the thing is, what I just watched is that little give and go right there.
Yes.
I mean, that was that play to Tyler
Nice
Miller.
touch.
That was Barber. And
what do we got here?
I think they're going to call. Yeah, they're going to call it a goal.
It was a goal. Okay. It looked like all of a sudden everything stopped for a second. I thought it was a clean goal.
5-0 your score, and we're almost to the 5-minute mark.
Right in the 5-minute mark. Yeah.
But
36.
Let's take a look at this again.
It looks like it kind of bounced and kicked a little bit. Kind of hopped up.
Yeah, and that was Hancock who kept that alive, and then just kind of shoveling it almost into the goal. I thought at first they called Hancock offside. But that's a correct call. That's a good call because he made the run perfectly. And
it was Bryson Cox. Bryson Cox gets the goal. Just kind of shepherded in.
So Ty Hancock with a goal and an assist now. And one thing about this team for Frankfort High, when you look down at their scoring averages and their scoring totals and their assist totals on the season, you have to go down pretty far on the list to find a player with less than 7-8 goals on the season. And when you're distributing the scoring that evenly, that tells you that you've got a team that's in sync with each other, and they're playing really fluid, and they're playing for each other.
And especially whenever you see goals and assists matching pretty close. You know, the numbers are running pretty close to each other. So it'll be six goals and 4 assists. It means that you're also doing the same thing. You're looking for the right opportunity, you're making the right pass, and then the result are goals.
And we see so much of that pass and move right there, and that one-touch passing. Looking for when you get the ball, you're getting the ball with the idea of looking up and trying to find the open guy.
Correct. That's one of the things you got to also learn as young players.
Beautiful
you
three
can't
ball.
watch your feet.
So I didn't mean to interrupt you. And almost a goal that time.
There too.
I'm pretty sure that one hit the side of the net.
It did. I think that one did. You went around there picking one up. We didn't miss that one.
Okay, I don't trust myself. I have to get clarification on the second party at this point.
We got just over 4 minutes left in this first half. It is 5-0. Frankfort is really taking a hold of this game, pretty much control the pace and the tempo. There's been flashes of brilliance that I've seen from Franklin County High School, but just a little bit short right now.
Frankfort High with 1 foot in to the final game so far, and we've had a player hit the ground here, and
she's going to do a stop clock.
And we're going to get a stoppage of play here, and I'm trying to pick up who that is on the ground there, and that is number 2. That is Carter Gilbert, the senior, and looks like he's up and okay, just maybe a little shaken up.
Kind of went up for a punt.
Let's take a look at the replay here, and
big bounce.
Yeah, just 2 players going for the same ball. I think the player for Franklin County, number 32 there, he was trying to pull out of the challenge and just couldn't get himself stopped quickly enough. That was Giovanni Catalan, number 32 for Franklin County.
There we go. So we're probably just a little bit over 4 minutes. I think we clock ran a little bit more, but we'll see what the call is on the official.
I'm sure generally from Franklin County's perspective, they can't get to halftime soon enough, really.
Push the ball and back into play. Here we go. plays back, moving the ball forward, bring it back through the midfield. Quick touches, quick space, just not giving time.
Nice job. That's Barber slicing through defenders that time.
Quick give and go.
Almost fell into the path of the Panther that time. No let up here for Frankfort High. And Franklin County trying to counter, but it's taken once again. Just kind of a little bit of back and forth here in the midfield.
So that Frankfurt's just sort of waiting for their spot. They're looking to see if they can pick this up and make a quick strike. They're just kind of trying to control through midfield. You know, for this first half, Frankfurt's really kind of controlled everything across all aspects. The defensive side, through midfield.
You know, you mentioned
definitely scoring.
You mentioned the back four having a defensive mindset, but that was a pretty interesting attempt at a ball over the top, controlled from the back line. And one thing I'll say about Frankfort High too is that back line, they all look pretty comfortable on the ball.
Yes, absolutely.
And a lot of times you can have a guy that's playing back there that really is and doesn't want to carry the ball.
And what will happen as soon as one of those, if that right back, left back, center back line break forward, then your central midfielder just going to rotate back and cover for him. Same thing you do in hockey. It's the same thing you do in basketball. As your teammate passes in front of you, you're going to roll back and you're going to take their defensive slot.
Left-footed shot by Barber that time, wide of the mark, but that was another example of just players running in opposite directions for Frankfort High, running between the lines and giving Franklin County so much to think about, pulling those defenders in different directions and keeping them from kind of collecting in front of goal. And that's what gets you a clear, open look at goal like that.
All that different motion.
And when we say running between the lines, you know, kind of maybe if you can describe for the layperson kind of what that what that means and what that's intended to accomplish.
Yeah, just you know, they were. You're going to run hard if you're a midfielder. You're going to run hard between 20 to 20. You cannot slow. The defense players are really going to be running hard from the end line to midfield. That's their push. Strikers pretty much will stay in the top. Offensive third, that's going to be from the offensive third line down into the end line. So you're going to run a line to line.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see formations listed as, you know, on paper it'll be a 4-4-2 with your 4 defenders, 4 midfielders, and then 2 strikers. A lot of teams will do a 4-3-3. A lot of just any kind of multiple of 10 that is just a way. And a lot of times that's just kind of because you have to list something.
Correct.
And a lot of times those will be in flux. And when you look at that from the top down, you see 3 lines of players there, and they're occupying a certain amount of space. Now, as an offensive player, as a midfielder, you're kind of trying to get between those lines and pull those guys out of formation and out of position, get them separated from each other, and that's when that defense starts to break down.
Gotcha. Yes, you're right there. Yeah. What you're doing, you're spreading the field. You're pulling your opponent in the opposite direction, and then as a defender runs through, then they cause a flip.
And we are going to flip the sides of the field here shortly as we have reached halftime. Frankfort High all over Franklin County, 5-0 your score. We'll be back in just a little bit with highlights and more. Stay with us here on the Cable 10 Game of the Week.
Game of the Week is brought to you by David Tolles Auto Pro. You're in good hands with David Tolles Auto Pro. Bring your vehicle to us for the best repairs in the Frankfort area. 2 locations at 1348 Versailles Road and 515 Duncan Road. And check us out at davidtollsautopro.com.
Game of the Week is brought to you by J.O. Osborne with the Franklin County Farm Bureau. The Franklin County Farm Bureau's J.O. Osborne wishes all of our local teams a healthy, competitive, and successful season. J.O. and Kentucky Farm Bureau have been insuring Frankfort since 1943. With them on your team, when you experience a loss from an accident or storm, it can be a real game changer.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's hard to find out. It's just,
way through the first game of the 41st District Tournament here on Cable 10 Game of the Week. Frankfort High laying it on their crosstown rivals, Franklin County, 5-0 your score. And here's how we got there, David.
There you go, some well-played balls, well struck passes. This was a half volley finish. It was excellent.
I'm willing to accept that was a goal.
Yes. But just some really nice touches. Some nice saves right there, too, by the young keeper, Seth Tucker.
Yeah, and he's had a lot to do there in the goal, and that one, what are you going to do about that?
That's
2 feet
impossible.
away.
Yep, he was in the right spot, right place, right time where he was supposed to be.
2 feet away, you got a senior who knows exactly how to put the ball in the back of the
Full
net.
volley right there off of that. That's a left-footed full volley.
And this is maybe the most impressive of the lot here. Driving past the defender is Bebe.
Quick touch. Yep.
Crossing a guy up, and what a sweet finish inside net.
Just hit a bender. That's sweet. That was very good work.
And some goals look gorgeous. Some goals look like this. A lot of it is just sticking with it.
That was that
keeping
clear,
the ball
yeah.
alive. And the one I'm going to
Nice big
reference,
save here by
I promise you it's coming. Nice job that time by Tucker to get down and keep yet another goal off the board.
Tucker's making real nice
And
saves.
this was the one I was referencing earlier with Hancock coming in, keeping the ball alive. They all count the same, and that brought us to 5-0 on the scoreboard. Impressive display by Frankfort High, and Franklin County going to look for any way to get back into this one. And we'll see if they can here in a little bit. Stay with us. Half number 2 coming up here on the Cable 10 Game of the Week.
Game of the Week halftime show is brought to you by Classic Gold. Art-carved class rings are available at Classic Gold Master Jewelers on 859 East Main Street.
Classic Gold Master Jewelers has an amazing selection of jewelry that anyone will love. Classic Gold also provides custom services like pearl restringing, engraving, watch repair, ring resizing, and custom designs. Classic Gold Master Jewelers, 859 East Main Street.
In today's fast-paced housing market, you need realtors with experience who understand that timing is essential when finding the perfect home for the right price. Tim and Rebecca Hubbard with Exit Realty Crutcher are here to ensure that you and your family have a positive experience from start to finish.
Real estate is what we do,
and families are why we do it.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Tim and Rebecca Hubbard with Exit Realty Crutcher. Choose local realtors that treat you like family because real estate is what we do and families are why we do it.
If your property has trees, you know they add beauty and value, but they also have the potential to do serious damage. That's where the team of pros at Estate Tree Service come in. From trimming and shaping to complete removal, including stumps. The team at Estate Tree Service gets the job done, even in an emergency. Estate Tree Service has been the area's premier tree service since 1957, and our long list of satisfied clients can tell you why. The name you know and trust, Estate Tree Service.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Estate Tree Service. We have a solution for all your tree care needs. Estate Tree Service provides expert tree care and preservation. Call 502-229-5258 for a free estimate.
Bob Allen is
Kentucky's Dealmaker. Shop Bob Allen of Frankfort for a winning selection of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, as well as quality late model pre-owned.
Click and save
at BobAllenFrankfort.com.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Bob Allen. Bob Allen is Frankfort's Dealmaker. Visit Bob Allen's new state-of-the-art showroom at 925 Versailles Road and discover Central Kentucky's best selection of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram models, as well as pre-owned. Shop BobAllenFrankfort.com.
In
2020 with COVID-19, we had a state mandate shutdown. We relied upon Traditional Bank for their advice and guidance in obtaining the PPP loan. I can appreciate that Traditional Bank is still locally owned. We choose them for health savings accounts. We choose them for any business loan that we need. My name is Dr. Todd Jacobs of Helderman and Jacobs Vision Center. I choose Traditional Bank because they value personal relationships and are highly invested in our community.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Traditional Bank. When your business is looking to win, with tough competition around every corner, you need high performers backing you up. Traditional Bank's local team will stand by your side as a trusted partner, your friendly neighbor, and your biggest fan. It's time to make the switch. Traditional Bank, member FDIC.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Whitehead Hancock. Whitehead Hancock Plumbing has been serving Frankfort families for more than 100 years. You can trust Whitehead Hancock for all your plumbing, heating, cooling, and septic needs. Call them today at 502-227-2213 for 24-hour emergency service or visit their website at whiteheadhancock.com.
FPB knows reliable internet is more important than ever. It lets us work from home, share life with family and friends, and make vital connections online. To help, qualifying customers can now access the new Affordable Connectivity Program and step up to fast, reliable FPB internet at a savings of up to $30 per month. Learn more about this new opportunity. Visit FPB online today.
things are looking a little bit better for the host school in Game 2 of 41st District Tournament. The boys, Game 1. Of course, in the first game, we saw a 9-0 defeat by the Franklin County Lady Panthers at the hands of Great Crossing, who will move on to the championship game on Thursday night. And in this one, Frankfort High, complete opposite, pretty impressive, really taking the fight to Franklin County early and often.
Yeah, they are looking very sharp, John, very crisp, good ball movement, nice aggressive assault, and wonderful strikes. I mean, great shooting. Also, though, some outstanding things that we're seeing from Franklin County. Seth Tucker looking good. We're seeing some nice ball movement, some nice give and go. So, you know, let's see what this second half's going to bring. It's 5-0. We just kicked off.
Frankfort High on the attack early.
You can see the pace has picked up real quick. Once again, they're going to look at putting on the high-speed offense. They're going to put a little bit of pressure, see if they can open up this first half with a quick goal before the 5-minute mark.
Almost a missed kick there, and
Miller intercepts it.
I was going to say he got away with it, but then just kind of
quick clear.
He only
Attempt to clear long
right
shot,
place, right
riser.
time. I think that was kind of a free hit there for Preston Barber, and he just decided to take a shot at goal, and why not? He is one of the leading scorers for this team.
We used to call that an ambitious shot. But he did strike it well, but he got it underneath it, and the ball started rising on him, and you could see it as it was crossing across the goal, top of the goal. It was on the rise.
Nice job there by
playing it back with a header. By playing the ball back with his head, that means the goalkeeper can pick it up. If he played the ball back with his feet, the goalkeeper had to play it with his feet. He could not have picked it up.
I won't make you go back into your memory for that again.
No, that's a bad memory.
There's Franklin County trying to just do a little bit of possession, and Frankfort High closing out well there.
Nice quick give and go, 1 touch, 2 touch.
And I think,
space.
I think that's a lot of the difference in these two teams that I'm seeing right now. And a lot of that, too, comes with looking down the roster and looking at the grades. You see so many more guys with senior next to their name on Frankfort High's roster than you do Franklin County. Franklin County's got, as I can see it right now, it looks like 3 seniors, actually 2 seniors on the squad. And that's the kind of thing that it is. It's just like knowing where the other person's going to be and being able to make that pass to feet in the middle of the park and having to go to a friendly shirt rather than just like being crowded out because you couldn't find the person to pass it to.
Correct.
And that's what we're seeing a lot with Franklin County right now that we're not seeing with Frankfort High. It's a lot more fluid in that part of the game.
Just that.
That's not fluid.
Just that little bit of positioning, yes.
Franklin County now going left to right on your screen, and Frankfort High in the black, attacking the Franklin County goal. Here's Barber on the right side, switches feet, cuts into his right.
Craycraft flicks it back up.
Colton Craycraft, number 17, is actually the leading scorer on this team with 12 goals and 10 assists on the season.
And there again, you know, kind of alluded to that, the 12 goals, 10 assists. So when your assists almost equal your goals, it means that you are distributing the ball. You know, you're not just looking at finding the back of the net, you're also setting your teammates up. That's when assist is. But they're moving the ball, they're probing right, left, swinging the ball back across midfield. As you play the ball back, what you're doing is you are increasing the distance so that you can attack back through the midfield. You're creating that space and flow.
Nice job by the official to get right in the passing lane that time. It happens, not their fault.
He did a quick whistle,
it's a kinetic game. So Frankfort High again.
And you may think that, well,
nice job of beating the defender.
Franklin County keeps on passing the ball and it keeps hitting these Frankfort players right in the feet. But what happens is the Frankfort players are position themselves in the path of where the likely pass is going to be made.
And they're going to call that a handball. It wasn't intentional, but I mean, they can't benefit from that, so it's a good call.
a lot of times you may hear a reference of was that ball to hand or was it a handball? Sometimes a ball to hand means that the ball is just driven and struck and it bounces. It bounces up and hits your hand. Unintentional, but it's a handball they're going to play on.
See number 26 there, the junior for Franklin County. That's Marlon Martinez. Started the game and back in here for the second half.
Nice big clear, nice big space.
Martinez bringing
nice
the ball down
right there.
Here come the Flyers, and just not able to get the direction on that. Maybe hurried it a little bit. He saw the window closing to make that cross. Did number 31 there. Just didn't get the power behind that he might have wanted. That was Logan Martin. And there's Eric Pfeiffer. Here comes Franklin County. Pfeiffer back with the ball now. And that one is gonna, through ball came through just a little bit too early and a little too much on it from Dalton Turner that time.
John, I cannot find the goalkeeper for Frankfurt.
That would be Dalton Pearl.
Dalton, there you go. He's down below on my roster. I missed him.
Dalton Pearl hasn't had much to do in this game.
No, he's been very quiet back there.
That's a fantastically weighted through ball. Length. And Franklin County just able to get a last-ditch foot to that one.
Unlucky. Right idea, unlucky. You know, we talked a little bit about tired legs, second half, chasing. When you are in offensive possession and you're moving the ball, it's much easier on the legs. Spirit's much brighter. But when you're back playing solid defense and you're having to do a lot of chasing, that gets very tiring and wears. So far, Franklin County's hung very tough. They came out solid. Weathered into 7-8 minutes of the second half, and nothing's on the net. Or nothing's on the scoreboard. Nothing was in the net.
Dalton Pearl puts that one in the air and finds a midfielder. Here comes Frankfurt High again.
Miller lays it off to Hancock. Hancock lays it back to Miller.
And I think maybe a little bit, you know, Frankfurt High just taking their time. They've got time on the ball because Franklin County is really just trying to kind of keep men behind the ball here. Here's Barber. Got it to his right foot. Just a little bit too much slice on that one, but got it into the box and nearly took a friendly bounce.
Nice touch.
Nice job there.
Nice touch by
nice job. Here's number 17. That's Craycraft taking a shot, and he's going to definitely want to get it on the scoreboard on this one.
Pulled it back, and if you look at on the replay on that, you see that he sits back just a little bit on his hips, and that ball rises on him.
Yeah, and that's not an easy thing to do, to kick a dead ball like that.
Yeah, because he played it to the right, rolled it right to his left, and he tried to get a little bit of power on it. But as he sat, as his hips rolled forward, and he kind of sat back a little bit, that drove the ball up.
And we have a Good Samaritan here, returning the ball to play. And, you know, there's a difference there between, you know, even a little bit of motion is going to help so much in getting power behind that ball, because that's why, you know, you see it at every level. Somebody that can kick what they call a dead ball foul or a free kick, somebody that can like get power and placement behind that is worth their weight in gold for your team.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times you'll see even a tiny bit of, you'll see somebody come in and just poke the ball a little bit just to give it a little bit of motion. That helps with the direction. It helps with the velocity and kind of the English, for lack of a better term, that you're putting on it when you put on a cross. Like when you try to get
movement, you get that movement on that ball. Yeah, you get those little set pieces. They roll it. It rolls about 8 inches to the right or left. You strike it with the inside or outside of your foot. You get a nice big bend on it. And
as we see the student section for I'm trying to pick out who. I believe that's the Frankfurt High student section. We see a couple of the Lady Panthers mixed in there with them. It's good of them to stick around. Good school spirit there, and got a lot to celebrate about so far as we've got a foul in the middle of the field.
Little contact, little push. Play on, move forward. Miller bringing the ball through midfield.
Here's Barber. Frankfurt High working quickly here. Barber's got some space to work with along the goal line there, and
ball rolled right across the crease untouched. There again, that's kind of what we talked about, being at the right place at the right time. Not necessarily a garbage well, but if you had someone on that back post, that ball bled through there, they'd be looking at it easy in the back of the net.
There's a nice shot. Nice. Even better save that time. Sir. And that was kind of right at the keeper, Seth Tucker, but there's a skill in when a shot comes in with that much power, being able to stop it dead like that.
It took 2 quick bounces, 2 quick stops, but it was a worm burner. And a lot of times, like you said, you catch those balls off your shins, it ricochets back out, and then they bury it on the secondary shot.
My vocabulary got a little bit bigger tonight. Worm burner, I love it.
Yeah. He said it's going so hard across the ground, and worms get heated up.
Frankfurt High playing the ball out wide. Here's Barber. He's done some damage there on the left side, and that time just not able to keep it far enough away from the goal line.
Craycraft is looking for that. I'll tell you what, Barber is just quick. He is quick on the feet. Not fast per se, but quick. He's just got quick feet, quick movement. Makes some nice runs. Brilliant throw in right there. Just played it behind space and let his player run onto it.
Tyler Miller, who scored in the first half, coming over to join Barber on the left side. Short throw, and here's Miller. He's taking on the defenders. Nice ball through, trying to turn it. Still up for grabs. They play it out to Bebe. Can't get the ball to his left foot. Franklin County able to clear the danger that time.
Nice touchback. Right idea.
But
very good,
again,
clear.
Another example of just you lose the ball and immediately press.
Yeah.
It's just a simple one-man press, giving that guy something to think about. He's had to work that hard just to get the ball clear, and you're putting him under more pressure and not letting him just have a little bit of time to relax. And a missed kick there, and able to recover that time for Franklin County. Frankfurt High getting back on the ball. That was Gabandi dispossessing Franklin County that time.
Like Andres Johnson Soto for Franklin County was kind of threw his hands up a little bit in frustration. Looked like his shorts kind of got tugged on that when he got dispossessed.
And we talked about a little bit what you would say at halftime and just trying to get to halftime and trying to make some changes. It does look like Franklin County has come out and they're a little bit more organized in defense. They're not giving up so much in the box, and that could be any number of things, but I think, you know, they definitely seem to be a little bit more on the same page, and they may be doing kind of what you described, whereas you're just trying to get bodies behind the ball, and you're trying to, okay, first we're going to stop them from scoring. Then we'll figure out how we're going to get back in this game.
You know, and it's going to be ebb and flow, and you're going to have that. You're going to have that period in time where you may have an opportunity. You are going to have a little bit of movement, but it's just, you know, the numbers are so strong. Frankfurt's in the right spot, right place, right time, and Franklin County's they are doing some good things. They're just not doing enough. It's just, you know, it's like you said, we got cleared, they got cleared, they brought it up, they got dispossessed very quickly. 1 or 2 extra touches, and that was it.
And a lot of that is just kind of, you know, playing above yourself and above your record in the postseason. I think you have to really, I think, for Franklin County to be able to come in here, and, you know, we still got a long way to go. You know, Frankfurt High is definitely in control right now, but for Franklin County to come in here and pull off the upset, it was going to require them playing at their best and Frankfurt High being 2 or 3 notches off. And that's just not the Frankfurt High team we've seen tonight.
No, and they are. I mean, Frankfurt's a solid ball club. It speaks for itself. I believe Franklin County was near the bottom in the region. And it's a battle. It's a David Goliath. But they've not quit. They've not laid they haven't laid down. They haven't hung their heads. Franklin County's battled strong. Like I said,
and if you're gonna end the season, you want to end the season on your feet. You want to end the season pushing
and battling. Yes.
And as we mentioned, a lot of these Franklin County players, as Barber tries to hook another one, just not able to find the corner. As we mentioned, you know, a lot of these players are going to be back next year.
Absolutely, yes, yes. Yeah. Very young, good opportunity. You're going to take that and you're going to build from it.
Franklin County with the goal kick here before they take it. I want to take a second to thank our sponsors for the 41st District Tournament here on Cable 10. I want to thank David Tolles Auto Pro, as well as J.O. Osborne with Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Thanks for helping us make this action possible.
Those sponsors do a fantastic job
do.
supporting local. Nice.
And that's a fantastic finish by Barber to get on the scoreboard tonight, and that is goal number 6.
Yeah. He got it so tight, so deep into that 6. Tucker had to guard that near post to protect it, and he just bent it, buried that far side.
Yeah, take a look at this. That's just waiting for the defender to show his position, show what his intent is, and then just beats him for pace. Great control. That is so much harder than it looks to keep the ball at your feet when you're trying to increase your pace like that, and just slots it into the side corner of the net. Fantastic finish. That's just how you draw it up.
Far post, side netting, nice little inside the foot pass.
And that is goal number 11 for Preston Barber on the season, to go with 16 assists.
See, that's impressive too. 11 and 16. Very good. As a head coach, like to see those numbers.
And
that's one thing you did hit on that in the first half, is that Frankfurt's scoring is really well balanced. It's spread out over what, 5 or 6, 7, 8 players.
Yeah.
It is not just focused on a couple.
And to watch this team play, you can tell why.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can tell how they got to that point.
And you know, you run a tight mark, or you man mark one player, and you might as well man mark everybody.
Yeah.
But a lot of times that was one of those techniques that if you were playing a team that had a single dominant scorer and you man mark him, you would take one of your players, you would sacrifice him. You're not playing a position. All you're doing is you're guarding this one player. You're on him. You're in. I used to tell my player that when we man mark, I want to know what type of gum he's chewing at halftime.
Yeah.
So,
and you can, you know, one of the things that brings to mind, of course, is a different sport. But you know, we talked about the similarities between basketball and soccer. As we'll take a break for that for a second. Franklin County, that was really close to being. They're going to give him the corner there.
They're going to call. I don't know. I think AR's throwing a flag on this one.
I thought he pointed towards the corner, but he may have been.
A little bit of a arm extension.
Again, that's one of those. Just, you know,
it wasn't as violent as it looked.
Yeah.
In the replay, but he extended that arm a little bit. I think it'll probably be a direct kick.
Just doesn't take a lot to send a guy flying when that's the case.
Center ref says.
Looks like we got a foul on the Panthers. It's going to be just on the 18.
Is he calling it a dive?
No, they're getting the free kick. So I think just a little bit of back and forth there.
All right. Little gamesmanship.
Yeah, I mean, you're up 6-0. Just, you know. So this will be Everson Rodriguez, the junior, for Franklin County to take the free kick here.
Good position here. I say he's.
And actually, he's going to leave that off.
Stepped over it.
And stepped over. And great position. And that is a goal for Franklin County. That is fantastic play on a design play on the free kick. And scoring that goal for Franklin County is number 26, Marlon Martinez, the junior, getting the Flyers on the board. And from a morale perspective, that is huge for Franklin County.
Everson Rodriguez delivered a nice little ball, little step over initially.
Yeah, that's a nice bit of play.
Yes,
Dalton Turner
good
with the
position.
step over and leaving the
done.
ball there for, I believe that was Marlon Martinez who took the free kick. Yeah, or excuse me, no, it was number 37, Everson Rodriguez.
Yes.
And then that was Martinez coming in for the finish. So Franklin
excellent.
County with something to take home with them on this one, and you know, you never know, things get crazy.
Well-designed set piece, Franklin County. Well done.
And you know, it's the one time you look at Frankfort High, they haven't had a lot to do in defense in this second half, and the one time they did give up a free kick, Franklin County capitalized.
There you go. And you know, it's 6-1. But I guarantee you that sure feels good for Franklin County. You get that goal in, and it gives you a little different feel.
Well, it takes away any chance of this game not going the entire distance, I believe. You know, it's hard to see, you know, even a high-powered offense like Frankfort High, the way County has been defending here in the second half, it's going to be hard to see Frankfort High putting up 5 more goals in this one.
And you're going to see a little more pep in the step. You're going to see a little bit more energy.
Hancock fires one from deep, and that'll be a goal kick. He's saying it took a little bit of a deflection, but
Franklin's going to look for more. Franklin County's going to look for more.
Yeah, and you know, they've had so little of the ball the entire game, but it only takes one.
That's it. Okay, just over 20 minutes remaining in the second game of this first night district tournament play.
And it's worth saying on that one, David, that it's first goal in 2 years in this tournament that Frankfort High has given up.
Oh, true.
And now they're going to look to get that back.
They were, what, 10-0?
They won both games 5-0 last year.
I do recall that. Frankfort still being methodical. There's no panic. They're just kind of playing their game. Nice 1-2 passes. Nice formational play.
Yeah, I think there's something about, you know, for Frankfort High, and that one played right into the feet of a Frankfort High player. That one came right to Alex Gonzalez. He plays the ball over the top, and it falls to a flyer trying to cut back just a little bit too far for him to do that.
It was Craycraft, I believe.
That is number 9, Bryson Cox, the sophomore. Now everybody's going to try to want to get in on the scoring act, especially since, you know, we finally seeing the sign of life from the attack perspective for Franklin County. Frankfort High is going to want to kind of just maybe step on the throat a little bit. And you never want to really lose by this much to one of your crosstown rivals either, especially getting blanked on the scoreboard.
Yeah, but, you know, there again, you also, when you look at the overall regional standings, you're looking at Frankfort, who's at number 4 in the region, and that speaks a lot because it is a good region. It's a solid region.
Yeah.
And Franklin County's down there in the lower tier. But this is a good ball club.
And Frankfort High last year won their opening game in the 11th region tournament, taking down Madison Southern 3-2, and lost 4-2 to Dunbar, who was the eventual champion of the tournament.
Yes. Yep. Dunbar, yeah. They got into a hard draw. World Cup, you talk about the group of death. Sometimes you have a bracket of death when you get in these regional tournaments. Good touches.
That could actually be said for Barbers can carry the ball. Nice job of getting in front. That,
nice,
you said it, David.
Well done.
And Flyers eventually, you know, still not completely out of the woods here. As Frankfort High doing a great job of just keeping the pressure on, just keeping the foot on the gas, not letting up, still just like attacking every loose ball. But you mentioned the group of death. I feel like that might be the situation that our boys in the U.S. are in coming up here in a couple months, because that's going to be a tough ask.
Yes, sir.
beautiful through ball. Playing out wide to Barber here.
I believe the U.S. men's national team.
I'm trying to remember how that game went. The Europa final or the Euro final, but came within a breath of winning the European title the last time of asking.
The U.S. men's national team is going through a series of ups and downs, trying to figure out where we are, who we're going to be, what's our play and style going to be, and it's been painful.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too. Is Frankfurt High still attacking here? It's one of those things, and we talked about it a little bit in. We talked about it a little bit in the first game tonight of just like it being a cyclical thing, and I think that's what we saw 2 World Cups ago when we had kind of the end of that era of, Landon Donovan didn't even make the team.
Right.
You had Clint Dempsey, Tim Howard, that group that was just kind of cycling out. And then you had some of the people already kind of being a part who were going to be a part of the future, such as John Brooks, who scored that iconic goal against, I believe it was Ghana in the first game. And then, but you had a lot of players aging out and a lot of younger players, and you had some instability in the coaching part of it too. They had sent Jurgen Klinsmann on his way, and then they had a coach in Bruce Arena who I think was just like a little bit too stuck in his ways to kind of
a little bit old school.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we don't want to lose sight of what's happening in this game, as we've got a couple of new flyers in. That's Jago Chigoya, the senior. Yago, I'm going to say. And my apologies to. We got a correct pronunciation. I did, rather. It's the player for Franklin County, Yusufo Unikalu. And divine providence being what it is, the first person I asked of the Franklin County faithful was Yusufo's mother. So it was a pleasure to meet her and get the correct pronunciation of their name. So I was able to apologize in advance for butchering it in the first half.
Which you and I both tried to pronounce it properly. Sometimes it's hard.
Look,
my no intent.
My name is spelled P-S-I-M-E-R. It's a horror show of misplaced consonants, so I understand the frustration of anybody in that respect.
There you go. Yeah,
but she was very gracious about it, and I really appreciate that.
A lot of new players are begin to come in, get a little more extra time. Dalton Turner setting up, stepping behind this ball for Franklin County, going to set it into play.
Yeah, I think a lot of
14 minutes to go.
The seniors who may not get a lot of clock for Franklin High are starting to get some run out here. The game's really kind of no longer in doubt. Hasn't been pretty much since the first 10 minutes of the game. Frankfurt High has really been in control here, and they're just kind of, I think, just kind of playing. I don't want to say taking it easy, but they're playing within themselves. They're not really pressing. I think they're just trying. They're gonna get to Thursday night regardless at this point, and Franklin County might get another one on the board here as soon as I say that. But
we got numbers down. They got numbers down. Let's see if we can get an opening here.
And that shot,
nice
not
effort.
a bad look, and it looked like there was a little bit of frustration there on the part of Marlon Martinez, who was the scorer of that first goal. Nice job of just, taking what the defense is giving you. That's a pretty good job too on the part of number 6, Jacob Tracy there for Frankfurt High. That's a good example of shepherding the attacker into a place where he's not going to be a danger.
And Martinez was pushing it hard. He was just trying to get his foot to hook that ball a little bit more so that he could bend it. But yeah, it was a very good effort. Very good effort. Very, very good defense also.
Yeah, it's, if you know how to get an attacker to go where you want, if you know where your positioning needs to be, you won't have to throw an attacker. Yeah. You don't have to use much of your body. There was a player, Maldini for Italy. He always said, like, if I've had to tackle, I've already made a mistake.
Yes. And you use the word shepherding, and it's just, if you think about it, shepherding is guiding. And so you're just going to use your body and your position. You kind of guide the player away, and you guide the player in the direction you want him to be. So you don't necessarily have to use force, but you use positioning the body, and that's what John, you referred to shepherding as really good terms.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. I just stole that from watching a lot of Premier League. That was just received wisdom on my part. So I don't know. I'll roll with it. Take the compliments where you can get them.
I use that terminology all the time with my players. You just got to shepherd them.
And great cross. And
finish it. There you go,
chance for Franklin County to get another one on the scoreboard there. And really, they've, in the last 10 minutes, they've taken the fight to Frankfurt High here.
It's going to be a corner kick.
And getting a corner, as you said, nice job by the Flyers to no quit in them at all here.
Yeah. Martinez on that right side is really putting pressure in there.
And a bit of a whiff there by, I believe that was Craycraft, who swung and missed at that. When you're the leading scorer on the team, you can get away with missing one once in a while. Like that.
I hear you. We got Everson Martinez on the corner.
And this is a combination, Martinez, and that's
the right idea.
Yeah, it looked like they gave him kind of a little bit of grace there, because I think it did hit him on the side. Let's take a look at it again. Playing it kind of outside.
Kind of on the hip there, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Result's pretty much the same.
Yeah. Just over 10 minutes to go here with 6-1. Franklin County was pressing there a little bit. They had a couple good opportunities in the offensive third. Put a little pressure on Frankfurt. Frankfurt responds with a nice, quick counterattack straight up the field. But since that goal, it's been a different Franklin County.
Yeah, I think just a
little bit of energy.
Yeah, a little bit of energy, and just the confidence of knowing you can score on this team.
Yes, absolutely.
You got a foul in the middle of the field. Marlon Martinez, who's been in the middle of everything in the last 10 minutes, really kind of just
very good rate of very good rate of work, very good work rate.
Getting his back into it and really just kind of trying to will this Franklin County team to make this a little closer game on the scoreboard.
Very nice little nifty move by Soto there in the middle of the field. Bebe.
Yeah, Bebe has been a little bit quiet so far.
Delivers a nice ball to Miller up here.
Yeah, it's a fantastic ball.
And Miller served up some really nice balls.
Yeah.
Back to
Coblin.
There's Bebe again.
Bebe.
He may pull the trigger here on this one. Nope.
And just kind of, I think, tried to bring it onto his left and maybe just wasn't able to. And he, you know, he's definitely a two-footed player. He's great with his left foot, but just letting him down a little bit that time. But ball's still on the Franklin County side of the field. Frankfurt High still attacking. There's the ball over the top there.
Attacking third there, Baby. He's going to push. He's going to attack this end line.
And that was Craycraft playing it out wide. He's played a little bit more of a deeper role tonight and got it out there. And that'll be a goal kick, actually. Let's take a look at it. It's a good call.
Oh, that was a goal kick. That was a good call.
Yeah. A little bit of a frustration slap of the ground there from Everson Rodriguez. Nice job of
good sportsmanship.
Yeah,
yep, I like to see that.
Yeah, and you know, it's a crosstown rivalry. It'll get a little bit chippy at times, but also, you know, all these kids have grown up together.
Yeah. And they probably played rec ball, youth ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
I always love the cheeky run up with the full steam run up to just playing about 10 feet.
Yeah.
Just keep everybody on their toes. That's a
nice
fantastic ball.
Nice cross. Nice little crossfield attack. Looking for some space. Just can't finish it though.
Yeah, Franklin County having a little bit more of the ball, and that's, you know, part down to, I think, Frankfurt High just kind of keeping the play in front of them. You know, just trying to kind of see this one out.
Frankfurt still has a lot of their starters still in.
So Frankfurt High, if the stays
Nice
as it
ball.
is.
He's offside.
Yeah,
No.
I think he was about a foot offside.
Well, did the
and
flag
that's
stay
where they
down?
looked him up. You know, they called it, and
yeah, I was saying,
a lot of angry people on the sideline. But on
Couldn't
first
see it,
glance,
yeah,
on first
absolutely.
glance, I think that was the right call.
Yeah.
Take a look at it again, and you'll see him go.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know about that. Let's take a look at the guy. Did you see the guy raise his
different
hand?
one. I looked at this one.
Yeah, there are two
Yeah.
guys that raise their hand, and usually that's the classic.
Yeah.
Oh, I
There
screwed
you
up,
go,
and
yeah.
I messed up, and I didn't hold the line. So
That was actually a lot closer than I thought.
well, I guess they made the call, so I guess
Absolutely.
I
always told my players. My players say
horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yes, that's. They don't say, Coach, that was a foul. I said, did he call it? Then it wasn't a foul. If he did call it, it was a foul.
Yeah, and it's funny because you're seeing in professional leagues now, a lot of times, if there's a close call like that, they are kind of instructed to give the benefit of the doubt to the attacker, just kind of help the flow of the game.
Absolutely. And I also like to see a referee that does a lot of play on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call everything. I'm going to mark it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to play on and let the play continue, because if I call everything, and I'm going to give you a disadvantage. I'm giving you the advantage as long as you maintain possession. I'm not going to call that foul back here. I'm acknowledging it was a foul, and I'm parting my brain. But I'm not going to bring it back here and stop motion.
Yeah, and
You guys have got the ball.
that's kind of a constant judgment call that an official has to make, and that's why it's not. That's that's why all credit goes to the people that do that job, because the overwhelming majority of them do the job very well, and it's not an easy job to do.
And the official's going to keep that number in his mind, and if you get the accumulation, you're going to get a yellow card much quicker.
Yeah. So I think we, looking at this game kind of from the, just looking forward on this game, if you, sort of looking at where we were about half an hour ago to where we are now, I think Franklin County can take a lot from the way they've fought back in the second half.
Yeah. But it's amazing the difference immediately upon that goal being scored.
Yeah.
There's just a different mindset. And, you can't say, well, that's because Frankfurt's put a lot of their players who don't normally start or don't normally get a lot of playing time in. No, you still got a lot of their starters in there. But it just, it's that little ring of hope. It's that little ring of truth. You go, we can score. And it gives you a different feel.
It's a deceptively anodyne phrase, but goals change games.
Yep. Yeah. That was a tackle from the rear. Almost looked like retaliation type call, or almost retaliation type tackle.
Yeah.
I don't think it was intended that way. That's kind of the way it appeared, though.
Yeah, it might have just been a little bit slow to get to that one. That was number 25 for Frankfurt High coming in on the tackle. That is Alex Hunter, the senior, and some of these seniors are getting a little bit more clock here. And we got another one coming back. That may have been a receipt.
Yeah, and it was, I think Martinez felt that there was not a call made earlier.
You know what?
But
it's 4:35 on the clock. We're in the window. Are we going to see another goal?
I don't think so. I'm calling it no.
Brave man. I think you may be onto something there. Kind of looks like Franklin County might be just running the tiniest bit out of gas here, and I think Frankfurt High is kind of taking their foot off the gas.
Yeah. I think everybody's just kind of settled down a little bit, and they're just gonna kind of continue to push, take it easy.
Should mention
everybody keep a cool head.
Yeah, exactly, and some
handball
battling there. Frankfurt High's got a couple of seniors who came off the bench up top right now, and Alex Hunter, number 25, and Yago Jagoya, number 33, also in the game. And a few of the players off the bench are getting some clock, and just a little bit of back and forth there.
Yeah. I think
so. For Frankfurt High, they will move on, and they're going to take on, once again in the championship game, as they were in 2021, as Franklin County with a one-man army there trying to attack the Frankfort High goal and eventually just gets outmanned.
It's hard to take on.
And it's getting a little chippy now. Maybe it's time for they're going to need to kind of.
We got 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go. The referee's going to blow the whistle here. Going to calm this down a little bit.
And really, this is for Frankfort High. This is the thing you don't want to have happen because you've got to have guys available, and that's a bit of a tough one right there from Dalton Turner. Kind of threw the arm across, at least from that angle. And you know, you want your kids to play hard, but at the same time, for Frankfort High, you don't want them to get caught into something that's going to jeopardize their availability in the next game and moving forward.
And it's really been a really clean game for a rival game, but
you're always going to get a little bit of that.
Yeah,
Still
really
a rivalry game.
Really haven't seen much unfair play, but you know, and so far still really haven't. I just don't want anybody to get too carried away here.
Yeah. And you have a combination of players that haven't played much tonight and tired legs on the players that have. So kind of a recipe for having a lot of collisions.
The players who haven't played a lot, they're going to come in hard.
That's a fantastic through ball. I think he's onside.
He is onside.
Keeps it, and nope, they are going to call him offside. I thought he was on. I thought the ball came. Actually, I thought the ball came from the opposite side.
Oh.
Let's take a look at this on the replay.
It looked good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when the ball was struck,
why are they
I thought he was on.
Yeah. Also, he's on the opposite side. He's on the opposite side of the field.
Yeah. I thought he was.
But
on
he didn't start on the opposite side. I see the point.
Right.
Okay.
Throw in.
Flyers will get a throw. See number 33, the senior Shigoya for Frankfort High, getting a little bit of clock. Here's Bebe. Had a fantastic goal in the first half.
Yes, he did.
And has earned a corner late.
He's had a tremendous game.
Got a minute left, and we start to talk about this game in terms of the result. And this will send Frankfort High to yet another 41st District Tournament title game. They're going to try to defend their title. As that shot denied the chance to get a late goal. They're going to be defending their title against the winner of Great Crossing Western Hills, which we will have tomorrow night here on the Cable 10 Game of the Week. And that will be preceded by the girls' game, which will be Franklin County versus Western Hills. So got a lot of fun action. Make sure you stay with us and tune in tomorrow night. We're happy to bring you all this here from Sauer Soccer Field.
Western Hills men and women both in action tomorrow night. As well as
tick this one down. Frankfort High is going to move on, but Franklin County, especially in the second half, nothing to hang their head about.
Yeah, not bad. It was even play second half.
It was, but first half made the difference. Frankfort High moves on to the championship game Thursday night with a 6-1 victory over Franklin County. And we'll be back with highlights and to put a bow on a great night of soccer here on the Cable 10 Game of the Week.
Well done.
The Game of the Week Play of the Game is brought to you by Bill McCoy Insurance Agency, celebrating over 47 years in business. With over 15 companies to shop and collectively over 100 years of experience, call, visit us, or request quotes on BillMcCoyInsuranceAgency.com.
You look pretty busy, friend. Why try and manage that much insurance by yourself? A local trusted choice independent insurance agent can guide you through it. We'll help with the research, help determine your coverage needs at the right prices, assist with claims, and adapt to your family's needs as they change at no extra cost to you. So, we'll do your insurance. You just do you.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Expree Credit Union. Expree Credit Union wishes all of our local teams a great season. Score $5 for your school while showing your support with a spirited debit card featuring your school's colors and mascot. Who will raise the most? Open an Expree Spirited account today and let the rivalry continue. Federally insured by NCUA.
Expree Credit Union wishes all our local teams a great season. Score $5 for the high school of your choice simply by opening a spirited account featuring your school colors and mascot on your debit card. Show your support, Flyers, Panthers, or Wolverines. Who will raise the most? Go to Expree.org today. Choose wisely. Western Hills, Franklin County, Frankfort High. Let the rivalry continue. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Welcome back to Sauer Soccer Field as everybody's beginning to file out as the game of the night. Game 2 has come to a close. Frankfort High on top of Franklin County 6-1, and it is time for us to take a look back at our Bill McCoy Player of the Game, sponsored by Bill McCoy Insurance. Play of the game, excuse me. And we're going to go with the Franklin County goal, perfectly set up goal. This ball in to Marlon Martinez with a clinical finish. That's as nice of a free kick goal as you're going to see. And that brings us to our Expree Credit Union Player of the Game. Got there eventually. Our Player of the Game was number 7, Preston Barber for Frankfort High. Fantastic game. Scoring early, punching that one in, and just beating his defender for pace this time. Fantastic finish, David.
Yeah, he was a solid player all night. He was delivering great ball, quick feet, very, very well deserved.
And that brings his tally up to 12 goals, which ties him for the lead on the season for Frankfort High and leads the team with 16 assists. The Preston Barber doing it all for the Panthers this season, who increased their record to 15-3-2 on the season. And we're going to leave you with some highlights here from the action in Game 2. Tune us in tomorrow night. We'll be back here for Night 2 of the tournament. We've got some interesting games there. For David Daly, I'm John Piesheimer. Thanks for watching the 41st District Soccer Tournament here on Cable 10's Game of the Week.